Hi friends, MD Vegan. I make another buckwheaty granola. I made these buckwheaties recently again. I have a whole bunch. Yeah, you have large glasses with these dried buckwheat sprouts. Yeah, you soak the buckwheats overnight, then you wash them and you rinse and drain them and let them sit just there with a towel on top. And then they begin to sprout pretty fast. When it's warm outside, they sprout even in a day. You don't need much of a sprout, just the smallest of tails you see. Otherwise they get into bitter. So not too much, and then you dry them in a dehydrator or an oven, whatever you have. I don't dry them too hot and it tastes better. Yeah, I don't know if you feel that, but you can also buy them. And how to make them you find in the video, linked under this video. It's easy to make. I always make a bunch and then I store them for months, and you can always take a little bit. They're wonderful for breakfast. They are crunchy, and if you soak them in a lot of liquid like juice or nut milk, they begin to soak again, and they're getting thick and crunchy like from the field, like buckwheat, fresher than from the field. It's really amazing. I found out about it on traveling. I made the breakfast with some buckwheaties. Easy to take on a journey. You always have a nice your own muesli with yourself, so to say. And then I noticed you let them sit for 2 hours or so in the juice, and also then already they're so crunchy, so much like from the field. You gotta try that. And of course they are super healthy. Needless to say. To make it in a very simple, one of my favorite combinations: apples and raisins. Yeah. Together with buckwheaties. And I have today, as a difference, and opposed to the other recipes in the last days or weeks I made with a buckwheaty granola, I now want to make a granola with a lot of liquid, so more runny. Yeah, the other liquids, the other granolas were more like a fruit salad, and this one should be more like a soup. I'll show you in a moment. First, I make my cream. Yeah, cashew cream. Here I have 2 bananas and half a cup of cashews. Yeah. That is pretty easy. You can make so different kinds of creams, cashew creams, bananas. Today I take some dates, just 2-3 dates to make it a little bit creamier. And when you put water in the cashew cream, it turns runnier. And adding a little bit of date makes it creamier again and gives more flavor. Because the more water you add, the more gentle the flavor gets. It can become a little bit boring. So the date makes it a little bit more exciting. And I give it a little bit of water here. Begin with like a cup or half a cup or so. Might have to use some more after the first blender dance. The first blender dance is always to break down the nuts and the dates in this case. Dates also need more blending because they are dry and a little bit firmer, harder to blend. So also need a second blending after soaking. It soaks for some minutes now. We'll do second blending and then gets the perfect texture. But now I check the flavor. It looks very nice. The texture the runniness is exactly as I wanted. Like a soup a little bit. It will firm up a little bit by soaking, but let's see. The flavor. Yes. That is really nice. It's a real banana flavor here. The date adds a little bit to it. If I put in a lemon, like the other day with another granola, there was another banana flavor. More the slightly bitter tone of the banana opens up with the cashew together. This time no lemon, just the date, and I have a whole different banana flavor here. It's like malty a little bit, like the date. That's so wonderful here. Also very nice. You don't need a lemon with a banana. I always do that. I oftentimes do that. But with a date, without a lemon, really nice here. It's more like more earthen, maybe earth flavor more, drier flavor. Lemon makes it really different. It makes a difference. So I like it now like this. Yeah. It would always be also nice be with cinnamon. That would be perfect with cinnamon. I put the cinnamon on top of the muesli. I'll show you in a moment. It will be my topping today, my decoration. So I have an apple here, and I have some raisins. I like this combination, yeah. One apple, cut into small pieces and triangles, and here maybe, well, a handful of raisins. I love raisins. They are superfood. Yeah. Grapes are a superfood. They have this red color in the skin, yeah, in the peel, and that is very super healthy. Yeah, it's a very potent antioxidant and highly recommended for many purposes. Raisins are super high in antioxidants, are high, almost as high as cinnamon. Cinnamon is I put it on later, is super high. Yeah? But you don't eat as much cinnamon. You have only a small amount of cinnamon on every dish. You use it as a seasoning sparingly, but it is super high when you look at the numbers. But because you would eat usually more of the raisins, yeah, the quantity, and then I guess you come to similar numbers. I don't know, but both are super high at the very high end of antioxidants. And antioxidants, in the end, is that what medical science mostly looks at, because for our culture, for our civilization, antioxidant that's really what fights most of the diseases we have. So you want to have antioxidants in your food all the time because of the kinds of diseases we usually suffer in the Western civilization. That's how Western science is usually made. So I put an apple in there and a good handful of these crunchy raisins. And there is something here, a kind of moderation between these ingredients. Apples are crunchy and wet. Raisins are crunchy and dry. And these here are crunchy and very dry. There's almost no water in there. So we have different kinds of crunch. And this time I use not only a lot of runniness, a lot of liquid, like a soup, I also use more from the granola, from the buckwheaties than other recipes. Usually I have half, maybe a third cup or so. This is more than a half cup, 3/4 of a cup or so. Here. So I wanted that. I wanted really more of the buckwheaties in my breakfast today, and I wondered what could I do to make that delicious, because you can't eat just buckwheaties. It's too dry. And they have a unique flavor that is okay, but you don't want to eat that. It's just too dry. You want to have it with something liquid. So I could have eaten it only in a soup. I thought that might be a little bit dull. Just the soup, the milk, the banana milk, with a little bit of buckwheaties might be possible. Why not? But I thought maybe still a little bit too dry. So my idea was then using the raisins and the apples to balance this super dry buckwheaties. And I guess I'm thinking that might be a nice idea. In the end, this is what I have. Doesn't it look nice? This as is, you would be almost impossible to eat, because it is really too dry to eat. It's one of the most healthiest things in food. You don't often talk about it, is the water content. Food high in water is considered very healthy. For example, a cucumber, there's more than 90% of water, is super healthy. But also a salad, lettuce, a green lettuce, doesn't have many nutrients, but it's healthy because of the water in there. There's so much water. That makes food very healthy. And the dried fruit usually are not so recommended because they take away the water from the system. And we need a lot of water to thrive. We are mostly water. More than 60% of our body is water overall. So very important to have enough water. And dried fruit is not exactly that. So I always prefer fresh food, plants, high in water content. But You can also do this one with the dried buckwheaties and the raisins, but then you put some nice dressing on top, some runniness. So I get back to my dressing now here. I will do a second blender dance to get the right texture here. Let's see. My idea is always make a new recipe every day to have variety, and that's why I make it as easy as possible. So I begin with a restricted number of ingredients. I don't want to have more than 3 to begin with. Yeah, here 3: apples, raisins, buckwheaties. That's it. Yeah. And then I add a dressing and a little decoration. All in 3 parts again. So keep it very simple. That way I can have the maximum variety. I can make a new recipe every single day. Imagine I would use 20 ingredients in a recipe. So what would I do the next day? Let's say I only change 1 ingredient. Then everybody would say, but that is the same recipe. I have only 1 other ingredient. That doesn't even notice. But when you have a small number of ingredients, you change 1 ingredient and it's already a huge difference. Because every ingredient matters. And that's also how I cook with the focus. The main focus on the ingredients. And that's also when you learn cooking, for example. What is the first thing you learn? The first thing you learn in professional cooking, how to get your ingredients. You go to the grocery, you go to the garden, you go to the market, you get your fresh ingredients, and then you begin cooking. Then you make a plan what to cook. That's the way it works, you know. Yeah. So how to focus on the ingredients actually in cooking is to begin with a small number. And that is easy. That's the easy way. I mean, most recipes I found when I was looking for recipes before I was made these videos, I always come across complex recipes. Some super interesting chef. Oh, great! I invented a new recipe. I want to make. Oh, I want to make that too. Oh, that's difficult. I have to get the ingredients, and then let's see. How do you make that? How do you find out about that recipe? That sounds amazing. I had no idea how we would do that. But let's make the recipes nice. That's how I was used to cook before, you know. It's all changed now. I don't look for recipes anymore. I don't inspire. I like to read recipes, but more like an inspiration, you know. I go my own recipes. I make a small number of ingredients and I figure something out. That's exciting. That's fun. That's my way now. Yeah, here. First I have to taste it. Oops. I have to check first before I use it. I was talking away. Let's see. Yeah, I was right anyway. Tastes wonderful. Just bananas, cashews, and date here. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Like a runny cream, and these a little bit dry ingredients, crunchy and dry, and together with this soup, you have a nice balance. You know, opposites, dry and runny. And then that's what I'm looking for now. That's really, I was inspired to make this. And I figured out a little bit, thought about how to do that. More buckwheaties, more runniness, and how now to do it. I guess might be a nice way. Let's taste it. I'm pretty excited now about this one. Wow. One of the best I made so far. Oh, so good because I can really taste the buckwheaties. I can hear it now when I crunch it. And I really feel great because they're nothing too dry. Because I have at the same time, in the same mouth, there is this creamy, yummy banana dressing. Cashews. Ah, awesome. That was look like. And I just put a little bit of cinnamon on top. I guess that is might be a very nice combination for this one. Really nice. I'm excited. Yeah, I guess that's important. Yeah, you have to be excited. Yeah, to make it work. The life, you know. You have to have a purpose to be excited about when it works. I guess so. Yeah. Each their own. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my videos, subscribe to MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.